also going to go across the rest of the NFC East. Would you guys like to start with the Cowboys, the Commanders, the Giants, or the Eagles?
Mike, last week we were out for this one.
Oh, so you guys changed
it up? We went
in
reverse order. We went from the bottom.
That's true.
Who's that guy that likes the Toronto Raptors? Drake. You draked it.
From the bottom to the
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
And now we're here.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here.
I'll
stop that right there from what the next word is in that song.
Thank you. Pick a team.
E.
No, stop it. That's my own fault. You're right to do that. All right. Philadelphia Eagles victorious over the Kansas City Chiefs 21-17. This is something that I've seen floating around a lot. I'm not saying that it was going to happen either way, but my question is, do you think that win by the Eagles last night means the division is over?
Yes.
I know there are a lot of people who think that.
Yep, I do. I just think that was one of those that I was kind of pinning as I think this could be a loss for them. And Kansas City didn't show up at all, man. They were bad last night. And so I think that even the rest of their schedule looks tough. I think it's just too much because the Cowboys are probably going to have one of those two that are gone.
I hate saying this, but the reality is there is time for major injuries to happen.
That's true.
Which can change things up. So, but if Philadelphia stays pretty darn healthy with their major players and they don't have let's just be honest here, their quarterback get hurt.
Sure.
Then probably, but I think the Cowboys can win this division. I think it's not super realistic, but they have to go undefeated the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So if the Cowboys win out and they end up going 14-3, I think they win the division.
Okay.
But I think we're down to that point now, is that probably winning out is the path for the Cowboys to be the division winner. And if they do that, they would be the 1 seed.
And then regardless of how ugly the game was, is Jalen Hurts now entrenched as the MVP favorite? I realize how the game played out. I realize statistically not impressive whatsoever.
I think I have a certain group of 5 that are kind of interchangeable at the moment. I still think Mahomes put on an MVP type performance last night. If any of those dudes could catch the damn ball,
sure.
That is a huge factor. But I still have Tua there. You know, like Tua is real for me. That he's my leader at the moment.
Now,
and I think he was your dark horse guy at the beginning of the season.
Yes, he was. Thank you. We didn't get a chance to mention this on Monday. Did you see that the Eagles just waived somebody that hasn't played football for 29 years?
Yeah, I did see this. This is wild.
Mike, did you see this story? They just waived a 51-year-old.
Fran Tarkenton?
No.
He's older than that.
We do have an autographed Sports Illustrated from Fran Tarkenton.
No way.
Yes, we do.
How do we have all this stuff? It's amazing.
Because I think about this all year long.
He's 83.
And because, by the way, and we'll talk about this more tomorrow, we have a lot of really, really generous folks who listen.
From the 682, Jason Kelsey is the real MVP. That might be true, Kevin, considering the tush pushes reality.
No, you were right about that. So a fella by the name of Bernard Williams. He was the 14th pick out of Georgia in the 1994 NFL draft. He played all 16 games at left tackle for the Eagles. Then he tested positive for marijuana, and he was suspended for all of 1995. When players are suspended, they have to apply for reinstatement to be eligible to play ever again. Even if their suspension was set for a certain amount of time, you still have to reapply. He never reapplied, and nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
So he just sat there lingering in, I don't know, the NFL
Whoville.
records. Yes, for 29 years, and he just got released. And he said all these people were blowing up his phone and being like, hey, what's the deal? And he goes, what? What happened? And he said he had no idea that he was even in the NFL system. But yeah, after 29 years, they finally moved on.
That is.
Well, good for him. He's free to do what he wants to do in the NFL.
That's right.
Does anybody have Mike's rights? He never retired from baseball officially. Does anybody have your rights still?
No, because...
Can I auction it off?
You can. 08, my last year was with Washington. So I became a free agent when they didn't tender me.
Okay,
So when you don't get tendered a contract, Brandon Woodruff, we talked about him earlier in the show, you become a free agent. So I'm still a free agent, can sign with anybody.
You guys want to go with Giants, Commanders, or Cowboys?
C.
Oh, you'll let him spell
you
out
want me to
Cowboys.
spell this one?
Wow.
Spell the he's going to say O, and then he's going to divert to M, and I'm going to get angry.
W?
Okay. The Dallas Cowboys.
That's how you spell it.
So far.
Pray for me tomorrow. The Dallas Cowboys had not defeated a number 1 overall pick since Jim Plunkett and the Patriots in 1971. Since then, they lost to Michael Vick in 2001, David Carr, 2002, Carson Palmer, 2003, Eli Manning, 2004. And then for some reason, they just quit doing that, and they Jameis Winston in 2015. So this is the first time since 1971.
Oh, I got you. I think we beat Eli Manning in his career.
No.
In their first game.
Okay.
And as I said, a rookie quarterback.
I was like, Matt Stafford, but then, Matt Stafford had some significant. Okay.
So, good job, Cowboys.
So, huge win.
That was a big deal for us, man.
That was it.
Maybe that's the thing that breaks when was the last year?
1971.
What happened in that year?
The Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Dude, there's so many things that are lining up right now. So many stars are lining up for us.
I don't know if this stat's going to mean anything to you because of the teams they played. And look, I realize the teams they played. In the last 2 games, Cowboys have given up a total of 359 yards. That is the lowest in a 2-game span in 6 years for the Cowboys. Does that impress you, or are you like,
And 6 years ago, the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
No. They were the number 1 seed.
This is the weirdest season that there's
I'm
such
thinking of a different season.
crap in the NFL. And the Cowboys, to their credit, there was obviously the 1 game, but man, they're taking advantage of the crap.
Yes.
Kevin, I like when you say haven't done it since whatever year, many, many years ago. 6 years.
Okay.
That's low.
Okay.
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb, first player in franchise history with 3,000-yard receiving seasons in his first 4 years. Never happened in the history of the Cowboys, ever.
He's good, man. He's good at footballing, and that's why when I saw that was on the. They didn't practice yesterday, but whenever they were like, "Hey," but he wouldn't practice anyway with the ankle. And I do hope it's more along the lines of, "Hey, just stay off your feet. You got a game Thursday."
McCarthy said he thought he'd be okay too. Did you see? This is going back a couple days. Neville Gallimore, his fine for kicking that dude in the junk. $9,754.
Well worth it.
I know, because that's like on the low end.
Think about it.
Mike, hold on. Before you say anything.
All right.
How many people can you instantly think of that you might pay $10,000 to kick them in the junk?
Jim Bowden came to mind first.
Okay, so 1 at least. But that was fast. Like, that was so fast.
Yeah.
It didn't even take him a second to think about that. He already had that lined up. He didn't even know what your question was going to be, and he had that answer.
I know.
So I think you're right. Asking that question, you're right, because a lot of people have in mind that they would, if I had the money to do it, I would kick that person in the junk.
Man.
Who's your number 1?
Ooh. I'm going to have to think about that.
Okay. I had a number 1.
Yes, man, immediately you did. All right.
The referee that didn't call Deion Sanders for the pass interference, and we could have had 4 straight Super Bowl wins.
See that.
You're okay with him. You don't even know his name.
I'll find out.
He didn't ruin your career.
That's a good point.
You don't know. What if I would have gone on to be a great referee after that?
Only because that 94 NFC Championship.
I was like, man, that was an amazing call. I want to be just like that referee one day and make great calls.
Okay.
I don't know.
You want to go with the Commanders or the Giants next? They're kind of intertwined.
Let's go with the Manders because we're playing them.
All right.
At RFK.
C.
Can you spell this?
O. M. ANDERS. Commanders.
I thought he was going to add another letter.
I did too.
It's like two Manders.
Is there an apostrophe on
right?
it?
No. What?
Two Manders.
Commanders. Commanders?
Co's.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, Mike.
There's no comma to the top. Huh?
All right. Stop it. Washington looked like they were going to crush the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
They had 5 sacks on Tommy DeVito in the first quarter. Then I give you this amazing factoid. I didn't even know this was possible. The Commanders are the first team since 1984 to have 9 or more sacks in a game and lose by double digits.
Wow.
They had more than 9. They had 9 sacks in that game.
And what happened in that year, Kevin? Apple computers were created.
Yeah.
What year?
I don't know.
1984.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if
There's
that
a
is
commercial where that
factually
person
accurate.
throws that sledgehammer
Yeah,
through the
but that was
apple.
about 1984, not. Oh my God.
Don Mattingly was the hottest card on the market.
All right.
How about that? I was
Remember
in
when I
grade
said
school.
new items might show up tomorrow? We still got to tomorrow if you want my broken headphones.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
went
man.
for
Those are
pretty
tough
penny
to
last
break.
year.
Those are really big.
I was really mad. The Commanders also turned the ball over 6 times in that game. So if you're wondering how
Okay,
they
all right,
lost,
see?
that is how they lost. Now,
And I bet they'll do it again.
you're probably right. Tommy DeVito.
Hey. I can't believe he won an NFL game. That is, I mean, if you don't believe in miracles, Tommy DeVito won an NFL football game.
His passer rating
That
of
would be
one.
like DiNucci winning.
Okay, think about this, though. His passer rating, 137.7, higher than any other Commanders quarterback in any game this season. And then it took him so long to get to the showers, they turned the water off at FedEx Field.
What?
There was
Are they in
no
a foreign country? They turned the water off.
Why would they do that?
There
Hey,
was
no more water.
there was no
We're out.
hot water, so they went to the sinks to see if the water was working, and then they grabbed bottled water to see if they could shower off.
Just the one guy?
Who turns the water off in the
Yeah.
stadium?
I don't know.
Is that like if we go to AT&T or we go to Globe Life and we go to a water fountain, it's going to work.
Yeah.
We're there early.
It's not off right now, and nobody's doing
Nobody's
anything in
there.
that stadium, as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, there could be people there just still celebrating.
But you know what? I take that back. I think that players that live here can go there and work out. Now, it has to be during hours that I think the strength and conditioning coach is there, stuff like that. I don't think they just have a key to the whole stadium. But so even if you were going to Globe Life Field right now, the water would be on so that guys could take a shower after their workout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You want
don't.
them to stink in the car on the way
They
home?
never turn the water
I
off at
don't.
RFK.
Yeah, I heard it just keeps flowing from the toilets.
Oh my God.
Or actually, I think that's FedEx.
Hey, RFK smelled so bad.
From the 682 with the sewer line issues, FedEx Field wasn't risking it. So that's probably what it is, Kevin.
Yeah,
They're like, we've had these
you're-
issues before.
You're probably right about that. Now, sticking with the Giants, they extended their string of games without a touchdown on the opening drive to 19. So they didn't score a first quarter touchdown, so good for them. But no touchdown on the opening drive in the last 19 games.
Wow.
And also, all 4 of their offensive touchdowns in the first half of the season are against the Commanders. Think about that for a second. All 4 of their first half offensive touchdowns are against the Commanders. 2 this weekend, and then 2 in week 7. And that's it.
That is nuts, man. That is, and those two teams paired up, you're going to get weird scores and weird stuff, but that just shows how bad they are in general.
Yes.
Is it, maybe I'm wrong about this, because I know the Cowboys have lost a few games recently in week, 17 or
Yeah.
18, where they don't care, like last year.
Sure.
But for some reason, the rival games, now somehow Arizona does this to us, who used to be in our division, but we don't have issues with, like, it doesn't feel like we have issues.
Where they say throw the records out?
Yeah, because it's a game in your division, and it's tough to beat them 2 times in one season. I don't feel like the Cowboys have had that issue for a long time with these bad teams.
You're absolutely right about that. All right, I have one more, I guess, around the NFC East thing to tell you. I'm just going to warn you, we're going to move into the no-joke zone for this one. I am still of the belief that there is no chance this will actually go to trial, but the sexual assault lawsuit against Jerry Jones, according to court documents, you know how much I like checking those out, that has been set for March 18th of 2024. So it's per the Dallas Morning News, it's in the 160th Civil District Court. Obviously, we've talked about this a lot over the last couple years. This lawsuit was initially filed in Dallas County in 2020. It now has a court date for March 16th of 2014, or excuse me, March 18th of 2024. But like I said, I would be stunned if this made it to trial, but The point is, it's on the docket 4 months from now. There's obviously still other legal maneuverings you can have to try to get it delayed and everything like that. But for now, it is on the docket because I know people are always curious about things like that. Now, can I give you a quick update about somebody who used to play in the NFC East?
Sure.
Have you seen what Randall Cunningham is up to?
No. I was a big fan of Randall Cunningham as a kid, and then it's like, wait, he plays for the Eagles. It's really tough because you enjoyed watching
His
him.
style of play was amazing.
Of course.
But then you knew that you couldn't enjoy him because he was on the Eagles. Then he eventually became the Cowboys quarterback. But
Sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
He has been hired at UNLV.
that's his former school.
Not for football. He is going to be an assistant coach with the track and field team, specifically for jumps.
Okay, so I remember watching, I don't know, I don't think it was a 30 for 30. Sorry, it might have been on NFL Network. I remember watching a Randall Cunningham documentary or some sort of thing on him. I don't know where I saw it, but it was really interesting. And I think his daughter was really good at track and field.
Yes.
His daughter was...
She won medals at the World Championships.
Yeah, she's signed by Nike.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, is she a high jumper?
And then I think
she's a high jumper.
He has another daughter that goes to UNLV, I do believe.
He's coached track athletes in 2 Olympics and 7 World Championships.
Randall
awesome.
Cunningham.
Yeah.
That's really
dope.
cool.
That
You know,
is
I have
dope.
some cool McDonald's cards of him from 1986.
I remember those cards.
I think those are the coolest cards just because I remember going to McDonald's as a kid and getting those.
Did you say his son also was a high jumper and won 2 NCAA
I
national
don't think I
titles
knew
at
that.
USC? So
At USC?
at USC, yeah.
He forewent UNLV. Would you be upset? I don't. This may upset's too strong of a word. If you were great at some sport at a school, let's just take A&M for example. That's the school you love. Let's take OU for example. That's the school you love, Corey. If you were great at a sport there, and your child, whether son or daughter, was great at a sport, and that school that you went to was recruiting them, and
I
you
wouldn't want to go there.
you'd say, "Don't go there."
I don't think so because you just automatically be judged off of that scale, right?
All right, so this is the thing though, right? Like, my legacy is going to be so great that now everybody holds my kid to that standard, and or my legacy is so great that now my kid is going to have everything he wants while he's there. I see where you're going with that, Kevin, of not wanting to go there. Maybe you do hate your dad or parent or whatever, and maybe you love them and it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
You get to live up to it. I think there's 2 different ways to look at it. A lot of relationship is going to be part of that for sure.
No, because I definitely understand your question. I feel like you'd be judged at a crazy high standard right out the gate that maybe you don't want.
To your point, like Peyton didn't go,
Yeah.
but Eli did go.
Yep.
To where Archie Manning went, where
Yeah.
we pulled the Archie Manning helmet at RJ Duke Sports. By the way, if you want to follow RJ Dukes right now online and then go to their shop and sign up, do you still?
The giveaway is on Friday. I'm not sure if entries are still open for that. I'm going to double check that right now.
And it turned out Eli was the favorite because his dad fought for him to not go to a crappy team. Yeah, so that was because he went to his college. He was like, "You're my favorite son."
True. And he
but
said, "No Chargers for you." Philip Rivers can die there as a quarterback.
That's a fact. I didn't know this either.
One has
but
2 championships. The other never made it to a Super Bowl.
Randall Cunningham, his number 12 is the only number retired by the UNLV.
What number is it? 7?
12.
12. Oh, did you say that earlier?
Say the exact sentence that you just said again.
Randall Cunningham, his number 12 is the only number retired by UNLV.
What number is he? 7?
God help us. It's time for Mike Lexus.
Well, you know, how many people caught this? How many people? I'm going to Twitch right now. I'm twitching this up.
All right.
I hope it's all. He just said it, Mike.
Well, yeah, because you repeated it. You really showed me up there. Jeez.